more than a manager. You're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and you know, this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, you know, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, you know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning, it's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hope College is proud to welcome our alumni H Club members from all sports to today's game. Any alumni who completed one season of a sport at Hope College are members of the H Club. H Club members and their families are invited to stop by the reception in the H Club room on the concourse at this time. The reception is open throughout the first half and at halftime. So a very special welcome to our alumni H Club members.
You better not be the one to doubt us, 'cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us, 'cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. We've been on the road from the go. Hit my blow. You know we've been down for too long to give up. Can't go. I need all pesos, want it all. Case closed like a boss to the wall, can't hold to the ball game over. These boys can't hold me. You boys can't hold us. I told you. Better not be the one to doubt us, 'cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us, 'cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. When I was back home washing them dishes, I was just wishing I could just vision. I was gon' get it, I was on missions, I was just living. Walked in that building, we was just building, taking our time. We was just yielding, we was just chilled away from these haters. Know they be watching like a theater. Yeah. Plotting these niggas that we need later. They gon' degrade us, it won't delay us. This is what made us. We got Omega, probably roll Vega. Probably just leave. I see you later. Hasta Luega, cop a new crib, got some new neighbors. You get this big, they gon' want favors, they gon' want flavors. Probably roll Vega. Hope the Lord save us, wait from these haters. Hope the Lord save us, wait from these snakes, wait from these fakes. Wait, I need breaks, wait, I need cake. How long can we wait? Come on, you better not be the one to doubt us, 'cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Hope College Junior, Miss Mercedes Reed.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mercedes Reed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here in the campus of Hope College for today's men's MIAA contest between the Thunder of Trine University and your Hope College Flying Dutchmen. Here this afternoon's starting lineups. First for Trine at 1 forward, a 6'2 junior from Elkhart, Indiana. Number 3, Langston Johnston. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'5 senior from Flint, number 15, Dennis Towns. At 1 forward for Trine, a 6'6 senior from Perrysburg, Ohio, number 44, Miles Copeland. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'5 senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 32, Teddy Ray. Starting at center for Trine, a 6'8 senior from Ottawa Hills, Ohio, number 34, Ellis Cummings. And at center for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'6 sophomore from Lansing, number 51, Preston Granger. At 1 guard for Trine, a 5'11 senior from Bristol, Indiana, number 1, Pete Smith. And at 1 guard for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11 junior from Williamston, number 22, Riley Lewis. And at the final guard spot for Trine, a 5'11 junior from Toledo, Ohio, number 20, Marcus Winters. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11 senior from Shelby, number 1, Jason Beckman. Trine University is coached by Brooks Miller. Hope College is coached by Greg Mitchell. Your officials this afternoon, Mr. Jordan Jarrett, Mr. Andrew Otten, and Mr. Brandon Majenke.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's MIAA men's basketball game between the Hope College Flying Dutchman and the Trine University Thunder. Hope enters the game with an 11-7 overall record and a 4-3 mark in MIAA play after beating the co-leader Albion College 77-70 on Wednesday. I'm Rajon Crispin, joined by the one and only Carly Van Swole, and making his debut in the booth, it is Zach Tice. Zach, good to have you, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for being here. So, for those who don't know, Zach joined us in the booth for a special interview last week, making his debut today. We're excited to be here. Packed crowd in front of DeVos Fieldhouse as we get set to go. It's the Thunder of Trine University and Hope. And the tip is up and away, and it's corralled by the Thunder. Zach, as we get going, keys to the game for this Thunder team.
I think we have to focus on the 2 guards. These are fantastic guards. Langston Johnson actually scored 28 points the last time we played him, and Pete Smith also did very well from 3, so we're going to have to watch out for those 2.
Thank you, Zach. And Carly, keys to the game for this Hope team. Still have a chance at the MIAA title, but essentially they have to win out.
The Dutch are going to have to go back to that ball movement that they had against the win on Albion on Wednesday. They had great ball movement. They got a lot of people involved offensively. Dennis Towns, was a big contributor down low, and Granger's kind of struggled the last couple games. So to get the ball into Towns, and now Beckman's back. So offensively, between Beckman, Lewis, and Towns, they should be looking pretty good.
And it's Lewis now. He drives, tries to go behind the back, loses control, and throws it out to Granger. It's a Thunder with the early 2-point lead. Beckman into Towns, working his way inside. Nice pass inside to Granger, up off the glass, and he lays it in for 2. So we talked about that ball movement. Hope taking advantage early. It is 2-2, just about 2 minutes gone by of this highly anticipated conference matchup. Trine on top of the MIAA. Hope trying to make a dent in the standings, and it's rebounded by Teddy Ray. It's a raucous crowd here this Saturday afternoon. Capacity crowd on hand. Towns has it, gives to Lewis. Lewis swings over to Beckman. Back in the lineup after missing a few games due to a concussion. Granger trying to work inside with the right hand, and he gets it to go. And Zach, throughout the season, Granger's had it kind of rough down low, but he's finally starting to get going early on in the season. I really think he's going to be a key part of this offensive stretch as we get going.
Absolutely, I have to agree. Preston was a big part of the win against Albion last week, and if we continue to get the ball down low and continue to pass it around, I think we'll have a lot of success today.
And Dennis Towns draws his first foul, so take a look at the replay here. It's a nice drive inside by Marcus Winters, the junior guard that, Zach, you mentioned earlier in your keys to the game. So Winters heads to the charity stripe for the first time in the game. 7:55 left in the first half. And he sinks the free throw. So it is 5-4. Beckman brings it across the timeline and finds Teddy Ray. Ray going to work on Winters. Beckman from 3. He can't get it to go. Probably some early game jitters from Beckman back in the lineup. Drive it inside. Hometown team wanted to travel, but can't get one. And it's Pete Smith. Pulls up, working on Beckman, can't get it to go. It's rebounded by his counterpart, Jason Beckman, and Lewis brings it across the timeline.
And this is kind of a personal event for Pete Smith. He spent a couple years here at Hope, played basketball in this program, played under Coach Mitch, and decided to transfer to Trine and is thriving at Trine, for lack of better terms. Zach, you said it earlier, he is thriving from the three-point line. That's kind of where he's lived and has kind of been a facilitator offensively for this Trine team. So I expect to see a lot more out of him.
And Riley Lewis gets the three-point field goal to drop. It's 7-5, a Hope lead. Trine now has it, and it's out to Smith. And Winters has it now. Feed inside is good and off the glass for Alex Cummings, the senior center from Ottawa Hills, Ohio, the 6'8 center. Lewis has it now, working on Winters, gets a screen from Granger. Lewis to Ray. Ray to Beckman. Beckman goes inside to Granger, who works on Cummings. Granger kicks out to Ray, inside to Towns. And it's Granger now, puts the ball on the floor, tries to pass to Towns. Towns has all the room in the world and he can't get it to go. Maybe a bit of a rush shot there.
Yeah, I think he expected a little bit more pressure on that shot, but kind of turned around and there was no one within a couple feet of him on any side.
And it was Granger with the interception. And it's Lewis, drives inside, trying to find room to work. Throws the ball out and it's rebounded by the Dutch, and Lewis gets it to go. His second three of the game. It's 10-7. He has 6 on the afternoon. Zach, sorry, go ahead. Zach, what have you seen from this Hope team so far?
I think it's the guard play. I think guard play will, for both teams, will be very important in their success. And I think Hope's guards has been playing a little bit better than Trine's.
It's 10-7. It's a 3-point lead for this Dutch team. Into the game for the Dutch, it's Ryan Gam. Seeing the floor more a bit now after spending a few months on injured reserve due to a concussion, but glad to see him back out on the floor. And it's Beckman now, working inside to Granger. Granger kicks outside. Ray for 3. He can't get it to go. That's rebounded by Trine, and Pete Smith passes it across the timeline. Pass goes down low, and the ball will retain with the Thunder. Take a look at the replay here. Pass gets deflected out. And it's stolen by the Dutch, much to the light of the Duke crew, making their presence felt.
And that was a great play by Gam. Preston got beat down the floor from Copeland, and Gam came charging in to kind of upset that pass. And without him running back hard on transition defense, that play wouldn't have happened.
Transition defense and offensive both kids are the key. As Granger gets something to go, he's been living inside the paint early on this afternoon. It's 12-7. And a huge game for this Hope team, trying to make a run in the conference. Still plenty of time left. Calvin Hackett gets ready to check back in the game. Driving off the glass, no good. That's rebounded by Gam. Beckman pushing the floor, finds Lewis across the timeline. Lewis pulls up from 3. Yes, that's Wiley Lewis for 3. 15-7. 9 points. Give me the hot sauce, you kidding me?
That had to have been a heat check.
Talk about big-time players making big-time plays in big-time situations. It's off the glass, and he gets an invitation to the block party courtesy of Ryan Gam. Lewis thinks about it, passes it off to Ray. Ray for 3, and that misses everything. And the ball's out of bounds will stay with the Thunder, so Ryan Gam making his presence felt. Zach, take me inside the mindset of this Trine team coming on top in the conference so far, comes in and is getting their world rocked this afternoon.
I think if they were trying, I think they should continue to do what they've been doing all season. They're on top of the league for a reason, and Hope can't. Hope has to continue with its offense if it wants to win this game.
Trine with it now. Goes inside to Cummings. He decides to pull up. Awkward looking shot, but he gets it to go. And Lewis has it now. Lewis brings it across the timeline, 15-9. The Dutchman lead, 13:30 remaining in this first half. It's Lewis. Goes down to Granger. Granger working on Cummings. And Granger takes a couple unsolicited steps and he's called for a travel. Coming to the game for the Dutch, it's Jason Dietz, Sam Bree, and Dennis Towns.
And something that we saw on Wednesday against Albion was a lot more players coming in off the bench for this Hope Flying Dutchman team. Part of that was due to the injuries from the Beckman brothers. But I think on Albion it gained a lot of confidence for some of those players that haven't seen the court a lot so far this season. And so Coach Mitch has kind of found a little bit more of a rotation offensively and defensively for this team, where he can check a couple players in to get 2-3 good minutes of play while he gets some of his starters a break.
Yeah, having a deep team is going to be so important, especially as they reach tournament play. The floater is off the mark from Langston Johnson, the junior guard from Elkhart, Indiana. It's Calvin Hackett with it now, and you talked about Coach Mitchell changing up his lineups. Hackett's been a big piece of this team as of late, putting in some much-needed buckets with the absence of Jason Beckman, and he's been good enough to stick around. And Bree hands it off to Dietz. Dietz tries to go inside to Bree, and Trine has it now. It's a 2-on-1, and they corral it, and the jumper is kind of blocked by Bree. A little bit of chaotic events there. It's Cummings inside, passes it out. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. That's Johnson with it. Over to Bowman, and it's an offensive foul. We'll see who it's on. And it will be on Maurice Hunter, the junior forward from Monroe. So it's 15-9. And Zach, to hope to stay on top here and continue this pressure, what do you think they need to continue to do to stay on top here?
I think they should continue to go down low. The offense has started from down low, and if they continue going down low, winning the battle down low, then shooters on the outside will be open eventually.
And Hackett with it now, tries to find somewhere to go, and he travels. So back-to-back possessions for the Dutchmen end up in traveling violations. 11 minutes and change remaining in the first half. Coach Mitchell not happy with the call, letting the men in stripes know of his disappointment. 25 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Trying to find somewhere to go. They go inside to Cummings, working on Bree. Cummings pulls up, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by number 20, Marcus Winters. And the Dutch crowd wanted to travel. and it's stripped. Hackett brings it across the timeline. He goes left, hands it off to Dietz. Dietz goes right. Dietz turns the corner. Finds Bree on top of the key. Back to Hackett. 15 on the shot clock. Hackett stops and tries to go inside to Bree, and it's tipped. And Carly talked about getting those passing lanes and making smart decisions, and that was not one. And Pete Smith gets the 3-point field goal to go.
And the Thunder have done a lot better job of closing those kind of driving lanes. They've moved their feet really well on defense, and the paint just kind of seems clogged up, and there's no really any space for the Dutch to go at this point. But we know this Trine team is fully capable offensively, so we know that the Dutch struggle once a team goes on an offensive run. So we'll see, as it's now a 3-point game, how the Hope Dutch respond to that.
Exactly, as we see the lane being clogged up for this Dutch team. You talked about them trying to go inside. They might have to start going more to the outside and relying on their perimeter shooters.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that continues with the guard play from Beckman and Tyler George, which is his first appearance today.
And it's Cummings with it now being worked on. It's tipped by George, who's now in the game. George, the freshman. Winters tries to drive. And it's Copeland now lays up off the glass. Can't get to go. It's rebounded by Winters. He tries to go up and he's fouled by Bree. So Bree will pick up his first foul. And Cummings will head to the charity strike. 15-12. It's a 3-point lead for the Dutch.
That's a part of a game that I think will continue to develop throughout this game. Is we'll see a lot more from Cummings and Copeland, who's arguably one of the best bigs in the MIAA, who's been really quiet so far today. But to see a lot more inside action from them offensively from the Thunder, kind of similar to what the Dutch's game plan is. But if they get it inside, they have the shooters with someone like Pete Smith, who just made the 3 a couple minutes ago, that if they start working down low like Cummings just did there, it'll open things up on the 3-point line as well for players like Pete Smith.
Cummings makes the second of 2, and it's 15-14. Beckman brings it across the timeline. 10 minutes and change remaining in this first half. Ray goes inside to Granger, and it's tipped into the front row, and the ball will stay with the Dutchman. 22 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and Beckman to inbound, and we'll get a timeout. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here. Fans, make sure to download the free mobile app. Get the latest score updates, statistics, and game recaps on your phone from the new free Hope Athletics Front Row mobile app. Sign up for any of the sports you want to follow, including volleyball, baseball, basketball, and football. You set the preferences. Search Hope Athletics on the App Store or Google Play. And learn more at hopeathletics.edu/front row. Zach, do you have the Front Row app?
I do not. I should.
Zach, you gotta get the Front Row app, man. It's free.
I know.
You can set the preferences.
You can.
I should get it though. Sounds like a good app.
It's good, yeah. You get updates and alerts sent straight to your phone. For all things Hope's sports, both teams head back onto the floor. It's a 1-point lead for this Dutch team. So the Dutch jumped out to an early lead and out to a 1-possession game. Carly, what do you think has contributed to try and coming back into this?
I mean, Zach, I think you said it kind of in the beginning of the game that this team's #1 in the conference right now, tied for #1 in the conference. Like, it's expected for them to go on an offensive run and a defensive run because they're fully capable of winning this game. I mean, they kind of ran the floor against Hope in their previous game when it was at Trine. So it's just kind of them settling into themselves and into this game, and I think they've done that. So it'll be really interesting to see how Hope responds to that as Trine's kind of got their bearings in this game.
And it's Smith with it out, working on Beckman. Goes inside to Cummings. He goes up, guarded by Teddy Ray, and he gets the bucket to go. And Cummings starting to find his way inside, and it's the first Trine lead of the afternoon, 16-15. 9 minutes and change remaining. Teddy Ray with it now. Finds Granger. Granger to Towns, to Beckman, to George in the corner. Granger now inside, working on Cummings. Tries to go up to the right, he does, and he gets it to go. Developing his offensive repertoire the past few games, and he's going to be key if this team wants to make a run come tournament time. Winters hands it off to Smith, working on Beckman. 15 on the shot clock. Ball on the elbow, and it's Cummings inside. And he tries to pass it out to Smith, who wasn't on the same page. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll go to the Dutchman. And Lewis checks back into the game for Tyler George. And Beckman inbounds to Towns, who gives it right back. Beckman to Lewis. Lewis thinks about it. Errant pass and is picked off by the Thunder. Smith pulls it back out. Three-point attempt is up and no good for Johnson. Ball goes out of bounds on the state. It's going to be Dutch basketball. And Lewis now will bring the ball up the court, crosses the timeline. Looks for somewhere to go, has Granger. Granger to Beckman. Beckman to Teddy Ray. Granger to Towns. Towns to Lewis. Lewis hands it off to Ray. Goes down to Towns. Towns being double teamed. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Finds Granger. Granger. And he gets it to go for the and one. The foul will be on number 24. Maurice Hunter, take a look at the replay here. Granger was kind of left all alone. Draws the foul. It's a cerebral play by the sophomore. And he has a charity stripe to try to complete the three-point play.
Great job by Towns, though, not to panic in the corner. It's kind of an easy thing to do is panic and throw the ball away, but he had some composure and found Preston. So great heads-up play from Towns.
So 19-16. Smith with it now. Ball goes inside, up off the glass, no good. Shot attempt by Miles Copeland. That's corralled by the Dutch. That's Beckman who brings it across the timeline. Finds Teddy Ray. Ray goes inside to Granger. Granger backs in, hands it off to Towns. Towns with the fancy forward, and he gets it to go. Towns with his first points of the game. 21-16. It's a 5-point lead. Smith pulls up from the elbow. You can't get it to go. And it's rebounded by Towns. So Zach, like you said before, Hope starting to have more success inside with the combination of Granger and Towns.
Yeah, definitely. Having inside success is very important for us.
And it'll be a full timeout. 23-16. Listen to this crowd. They're on their feet. Raucous crowd this Saturday afternoon. We'll step away and hear from our sponsors, Lewis and Bannisworth. Financial planning done right.
You know, when you're more than a manager, you're not just saying, "Wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and you know, this is what your investment did." It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality, so that you can say, well, you know, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, you know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Back inside DeVos Fieldhouse. Hope up 23-16. 7:07 remaining in this first half for John Christopher alongside Carly Van Swoel and Zach Tice. Zach, so Trine calls the full timeout. Hope kind of had momentum there. What do you do to slow down this Hope team if you're Coach Brooks Miller in his 8th season at the helm?
I think it starts with stopping Hope's big men. When Trine was doing that, Hope was struggling. And when Trine had their big men going, then they went on a big run.
So 7:07 remaining, trying to inbound. It's Pete Smith who hands it in to Marcus Winters, the junior from Toledo, Ohio.
And Zach, I think that's such a good point about kind of this whole game offensively for both teams. When the big guys are working down low and things are going their way, it opens up the offense completely, whether that's on the three-point line, whether that's driving lanes, whether it's just ball movement in general. When you can work it in and out between your bigs and your wing players, things just really expand offensively for you.
And it's Teddy Ray with it now, hands it down to Lewis. Lewis to Beckman. Now it's Lewis, pulls up. They can't get it to go. Lewis known for his stop and pop three-point shooting. Couldn't get that one to go. Beckman held scoreless so far this afternoon, uncharacteristic. Maybe just feeling the jitters after missing a few games with a concussion, trying to get his bearings. Beckman now brings it across the timeline. He drives, he's stripped, and he will head to the charity stripe to shoot 2. And the foul is on number 20, Marcus Winters.
That is his first. Team's third.
We talk about Riley Lewis being near perfect from the line. Jason Beckman not far behind, shooting 88% from the line.
It's 88% better than I could do. Coming to the game for the Thunder is number 33, Aiden Warchika, and number 35, Nick Bowman. And Beckman to shoot the second of 2. He does, and it goes in. So 25-16. It's a 9-point lead for this Dutch team. A nice drive inside, and Riley Lewis picks up the foul. His first foul of the afternoon. Lewis with 9 points on the afternoon. 24 seconds on the shot clock, trying to inbound. Ball is tipped around and corralled by the Thunder. Bowman to Johnston. Johnson with it, pulls up. He can't get the jumper to go. It's corralled by Beckman. Beckman brings it across the timeline, goes cross court to Teddy Ray. Ray can't handle it, and it's intercepted by the Thunder. Nice move inside. Bowman can't get it to go. And it's out of bounds, and it'll be Hope basketball. What a play and hustle from Preston Ranger and the rest of the Hope defense.
That's a great recovery from the Dutch. I mean, you get the turnover, you come back on transition defense, don't foul, get the rebound, and that's great just defense in general. You make one mistake, you don't make another one. So great way to recover.
It's like defense wins championships, and I forget how the saying ends, but defense important as always. Passing the ball around. Granger with the tough move inside, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by the Thunder. Three-point attempt is up and good from Langston Johnson, the junior guard from Elkhart, Indiana. 25-19.
That's just quick ball movement right there.
Lewis with it now to Granger. Granger trying to find somewhere to go. Nice pass inside to Teddy Ray. With a quick move off the glass and gets it to go. 27-19. A consistent theme that we talk about is Hope rising to the occasion of who they play. They played 2 conference leaders the past 2 games, and they're playing to those. They're playing up to those teams, and it's showing here. Also playing here at DeVos Hopes, having this hometown crowd behind you. 27-19. Copeland can't get it to go, and Beckman pushes the floor. Beckman tries to go inside to Towns, and he can't get it to go. Copeland pulls up from the elbow. No one in the same area code, and he gets it to go. So it's a 6-point lead. 4 minutes remaining. Lewis on the base of the anchor. Goes to Granger. Granger to Ray. Ray inside to Towns. Towns working on Copeland. Nice pass inside to Granger. He's stripped, but the ball will stay with the Dutchman.
Great vision from Towns, and it's exciting to see Towns and Granger work together. I don't think we've seen that yet this season at all. Not really any high-low action from the 2 of them. I mean, we see it a lot on the girls' side between Buchanan, Voskel, and Thomas. But to see it from this Dutch team, it's really opened things up for them.
And Towns is rejected, and the Thunder will bring it up the court. It's Davis, thinks about it, now pulls up. He can't get it to go. And it's Beckman with it now. Beckman puts a little move on. Finds Towns. Towns can't get the jumper to go. And it's rebounded by the Thunder. Bowman with it now, being worked on by Nate Davis. Smith with it to Johnson. Johnson goes down. And it's Towns on defense. The ball is stripped, but it's a foul on Towns. Mitchell not happy, as well as the Duke crew and the refs in the stands. Take a look at the replay here. Towns gets called for the hand check.
Here's Winters back.
So Granger comes back into the game. 3:05 remaining, 27-21.
Davis, Beckman, Gam,
Winters to inbound. Devon Smith. Winters working on Davis. No travel call. Can't get it to go. And Granger wanted the blocking foul, and he can't get that. So the Thunder capitalized on a couple of no calls.
I mean, there's only 7 fouls called in this game, so.
The ref's kind of letting him play a little bit. And Beckman gets his first field goal of the game. So he has 4 on the afternoon. Smith from way downtown. That's no good, and rebounded by Granger. I feel like Smith is trying to overcompensate for his team, really trying to get his team back into this one. Beckman with it. Drive, stops, pops, shoots. Can't get it to go. And Smith has it now. Goes behind the back. Smith finds Winters. Winters thinks about it, back to Smith. Smith from downtown, and he gets the 3 to go. That's 29-26, and the lead is 3 with 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Pete Smith, the playmaker for this team, the point guard, just kind of doing anything he can at this point. First 3 didn't go. I wouldn't say that was a great 3 that he just took, but he had a little bit of time. Homeowner coming in and hand in the face. If you can make that shot, Pete Smith showing off his skills tonight.
And Lewis checks back into the game. Zach, with under 2 minutes left, what do you think is going to be important for this Dutch team trying to stay on top, only up by 3?
I think, like I continue to say, I think inside is very important. Trine guards are shooting a little better, so I think we should start focusing on them a little bit, because Smith's been shooting it pretty well, even with hands in his face that he's been seeing.
So Granger goes inside, can't get it to go. It's tipped around and corralled by Winters. Winters crosses the timeline, finds Smith. He pulls up from 3. Pete Smith, my goodness, have yourself an afternoon. 29-29, he's got 9, and we're tied. Jake Honer with it now, trying to find somewhere to go. He goes down to Bree. Bree goes cross court to Lewis. Lewis pulls up from 3, and he answers right back. Riley Lewis with 12 on the afternoon. That's back and forth here at DeVos Fieldhouse. Bree on defense, and he can't stop Cummings from the little J. So it's 32-31, 1 minute remaining in this first half.
Great move by Cummings over tall Sam Vree. That's a hard shot to make.
That's a good job of creating space for yourself. Granger trying to work inside. Passes it back out to Hackert. Hackert to Lewis, base of the anchor. Takes a peek at the shot clock, goes between the legs. Back to Lewis. It's off of Lewis's body. He tries to keep it in bounds, and he does. The ref calls over and back, and it'll be Trine basketball with 44 seconds remaining. That sequence was just not great from the start. So Smith with it now. 40 seconds remaining. Smith for 3 again, and he can't get it to go. Hackert crosses the timeline. Shot clock at 20. 7 seconds separates shot clock from the game clock. Granger finds Ray to Lewis. Lewis to Hackert. Hackert goes back to Lewis. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis pulls up, awkward looking shot, can't get to go. Rebounded by Bree. Off the 3rd attempt, then he gets it to go. 5 seconds. 2, and he gets it off, and he sinks the 3 at the buzzer. And Winters takes a peek at the Duke crew. So we reach halftime, 34-34. We're tied. My goodness. Stay tuned after the break. We'll be back. We'll be right back with some halftime analysis for John Crispin alongside Carly Vanswell. Zach Tice will be back.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, Hope College is proud to welcome our
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. When 26-year-old jeweler Jacob Raven came to Holland in 1889, the northwest corner of 8th Street and River Avenue was already home to the thriving Holland City State Bank. Raven told bank personnel that he wanted to build a clock above the bank to keep the town on time, and it wouldn't cost them a cent. True to his word, Raven raised the funds with donations from merchants and local factories. High above the city streets, the tower was completed in 1892. Holland's clock tower still ticks high above 8th Street, watching over a town that still loves to run on time. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Ensemble performs frequently both on and off campus and has been featured at the Michigan Music Conference and serves Hope College through educational research concerts and as well as the schools throughout Michigan and Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Hope College Brazilian Drumming Ensemble. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hope College Brazilian Drumming Ensemble. Look for students on the concourse level to show you what materials belong in the trash, recycling, and compost. Be a part of the difference today and help Hope College lessen the amount of
Welcome
trash.
back inside DeVos Fieldhouse. Brajan Crispin here along with Zachary Tice here at halftime. So we knew this was going to be a contested matchup coming in. Trine alone on top of the conference. Hope trying to make a dent in the conference standings. What have you seen from both teams really so far that has led us to this 34-34 tie?
From Hope College, I've seen them continue to go inside, and when they went inside, they were very successful. From Trine, at the beginning, they went inside, but towards the end, with Pete Smith starting to make some outside shots, it looks like it's going to be a very competitive game.
So Zach, what do you think are going to be one or two keys for this Hope team coming down the stretch and trying to escape DeVos Fieldhouse with the W?
I say continue to go inside with some good guard play. I'll look at Riley Lewis and Jason Beckman to continue to play well and hit some big outside shots.
And then on the Thunder side for Trine, we talked about eating up inside and stopping Hope's bigs, mainly Dennis Towns and Preston Granger, from having their way inside. They started to do that as of late, and that's what's led to this 34-34 tie. We'll be right back on the other side of the break. Brajan Crispin alongside Zach Tice. Stay tuned. Hope versus Trine coming up right after the break. Thank you.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
Back inside the bus Fieldhouse on the other side of the break. We're tied up at 34-34. Hope to inbound, and it's Lewis who will bring it across the timeline. Beckman with it now, finds Ray. Ray to Towns. Towns trying to find somewhere to go. Finds Beckman left side. Beckman dribbles right. Finds Ray outside on the perimeter. Goes inside to Towns. Towns working on Winters. Towns jumps, stops, lays it up, can't get to go. Gets his own rebound and lays it up off the glass for 2. Dennis Towns is 6 on the afternoon.
Great move from Towns, but if you're Winters going against a big guy, you can't just stand down there after the shot goes up. You have to box out. Obviously, you're outmatched on height, so your only real thing that you can do in that moment is box out, and you know, Bergeron, that's kind of my thing. So
wouldn't be a game if we didn't have a boxing out reference. Cummings working on Granger, and he gets a little floater to go. 36-36. So Zach, we talked at the break about Granger getting going inside, working the bigs. It's good to see him getting going early.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the combination between Towns and Granger. They've been playing extremely well as of late, and especially during this game, and I'm hoping that continues.
And Ray from downtown can't get it to go. Rebounded by Beckman, puts up the little floater. And Towns with the rebound, and he gets it to go. It's Dennis Towns. Have yourself a day. 38-36. Hope up 2.
Towns doing a great job of cleaning up those offensive rebounds, getting those second chance points.
Johnson to Copeland to Smith. Smith caught fire at the end of the first half, hitting some big threes. Cummings inside. Can't get the inside shot to go, and it's rebounded by Towns. Beckman with it. And goes inside to Dennis Towns. Towns with the step back, trying to find somewhere to go. Finds Lewis. Back inside to Towns. Fade away, shot it. And he gets to go.
And I just got to give mad props to Dennis Towns. I think Bergeron and Zach, we kind of talked about this during one of the timeouts in the first half, but the amount that he's grown in his just ability and basketball IQ throughout this season is just astronomically high. And just to see him kind of become the player that I think he's always been capable to be and have that confidence, it's an exciting thing to see.
And there'll be a foul call. It'll be on Dennis Towns. He will pick up his 3rd. Coming to the game for the Thunder is number 45, Jared Dishup, the senior forward from Napoleon, Ohio. And Dietz comes into the game for the Dutchman. Towns exits to a nice round of applause. It's 40-36. Outbound pass to Cummings. Winters goes down low. Cummings working on Granger. Spins it, he can't get it to go. But it's rebounded by Winters, and he dribbles it out. And the shot clock will reset. Smith. Trying to find somewhere to go. Dish up back to Smith. Johnson with a little turnaround jumper, and he gets it to go. Beckman brings it across the timeline. And Beckman drives, and he can't get the floater to go, but it's redirected. Ball tips around and corralled by the Thunder. Winters brings it cross court, finds Cummings top of the key. Johnson drives left, stops, pulls up, shoots. Can't get it to go. It's rebounded by Dishup, and it's going to be an offensive foul. And it is on number 45, Jared Dishup. And it is his 2nd. So Goral comes into the game, as does Jake Honer. It's 40-38. It's a 2-point game. Lewis crosses the timeline. Finds Goral. Goral goes to Teddy Ray. Ray looks inside to Granger, top of the key. Granger puts the ball on the floor, spins off with the left hand, and it gets it to go. Preston Granger having his way inside. He has 12 on the afternoon.
I'm a big fan of the spin move, but that was just textbook spin move right there.
42-38, the lead is 4. And the foul is on Teddy Ray, his first, team second. And Ryan Gann checks into the game for Jake Honer. So on the floor for the Dutch, it's Goral, Granger, Gam, Ray, and Lewis. And Hunter can't get it to go, working on Gam. So the immediate defensive impact is felt, and Lewis brings it up the court. As Granger with it now in the elbow, hands it off to Lewis. Lewis pulls up, can't get it to go. It's rebounded by Smith, who wants to push the floor. He does, and Johnson loses control, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Hope basketball. It all starts with the pass, taking care of the basketball.
I'm very impressed with Ryan Gam. Whenever he comes in, he might not be the first offensive player you're looking for, but whenever he comes in, he's fantastic on the defense.
It's important to lock up inside defensively, and Gam just does that day in and day out. Pass by Goral was to who knows who. And Johnson for 3, and he gets it to go. So the turnover leads to points, and it's a 1-point game with 15 minutes to go. Number 1 and number 4 in conference going at it head-to-head. And it's going to be a foul on Langston Johnson. Coach Brooks Miller not happy with the call. And Smith comes out of the game. Take a look at the replay here. And he gets checked for the foul. Lewis now on top of the key. Finds Teddy Ray. Ray to Goral. He's stuck in the corner. Passes it out to Ray. Ray goes right. Passes deflect out of bounds by Johnson. The ball will stay with the Dutch.
Good active hands from Johnson, and I think that's kind of where this offense starts up for the Trine Thunder, is on the defensive end. When they kind of clog things up in the middle and defensively they're strong, is when things start to work out for them offensively.
Goral with a nice move inside. Can't convert on the field goal, but he'll head to the line for 2. And the foul is on number 24, Maurice Hunter, the junior forward. Take a look at the replay here. It's a nice jump stop move inside and draws contact.
That's his 3rd foul.
Last thing Trine wants to do is get into foul trouble.
Lights out for the free throw line.
And he gets it to go. Beckman comes into the game for Lewis. 43-41. And the second shot is up and good. Hacker comes into the game for Goral. And so the Thunder will bring it up the court. It's Bowman, brings it across the timeline, working on Beckman. Bowman drives, stops, double team, loses control of the ball, and he travels. So traveling violation leads to Hope possession, and Hackert inbounds to Beckman. Beckman working on Johnson. Puts a little move on. Kicks out pass. They swing the ball. Hackert back to Ray. Ray for 3. Yes! Teddy Ray for 3. That's 47-41. 5 points on the afternoon for the senior from Fort Wayne.
And I love that move from Hacker. As he drove, he drew that double team, and just to kick it out to Teddy Ray, I mean, that's a perfect job. Drop the double team, Teddy's wide open, and you know he can shoot the 3.
And Copeland gets the runner to go. That's going to be a 30-second timeout for the Thunder, so we'll keep it right here. Zach, what have you seen from this Trine team in the past 6.5 minutes?
Well, Trine is sticking around. Whenever Hope goes on a little run, Trine goes on a little run. So it's been a lot of back and forth. Trine is sticking to their game that's been working all day, and I'm excited to see how this game finishes.
So you take a look at the NCAA standings. Trine is on top with 6-1 in conference, followed by Olivet at 6-1, Albion's at 5-2, Hope is sitting 4th in conference at 4-3. Calvin at 3-4. Alma at 3-4. And Kalamazoo got their first win in conference. They're 1-6, and Adrian remains winless in conference at 0-7. So plenty of room to work with, plenty of season left, but each game getting more and more important as the fight to host the tournament intensifies. Ryan Gam will inbound to Jason Beckman. Beckman crosses the timeline. Finds Gam, right back to Beckman. Goes to Granger, goes outside to Beckman, goes inside to Granger.
Moving screen on 23. Calvin Hacker.
Keep your feet set. Goes down to the little things. 13:30 remaining in the contest. Hope leads by 4, 47-43. Smith thinks about it, being guarded by Beckman, his counterpart. Drive inside, he's blocked by Granger, but Granger will also pick up a foul. It'll be his first. Take a look at the replay here. It's a good job of drawing contact, going straight up. So it's Miles Copeland on the line, and he gets the first to go.
On the season, shooting 71% from the line.
Ducru giving him all he can handle, but he sinks the second free throw. Gam hands it off to Beckman. Beckman to Hacker, who finds Gam. Gam goes to Ray. Ray to Beckman. Granger working inside. Kicks it cross court to Hacker. Hacker gets Cummings to jump. Awkward shot, can't get it up and good, so it's rebounded by Trine. And Cummings can't get it to go. And it'll be Ho basketball. So Zach, you talked about Gam coming in and not really being the most flashy guy offensively, but he's been a staple inside every possession he's been on the court.
Yeah, definitely. I am very impressed with especially all these players. They each have a role that they do, and they each do it very well.
Hacker with a little fake in the floater. He can't get it to go. Looked a little bit rushed there. And Pete Smith brings it across the court. Smith with it now, working on Ray. Goes cross court to Copeland, and Copeland sinks the two-point jumper. So we're tied again with 12 minutes remaining in the game. It's been back and forth all afternoon. Teddy Ray to Beckman. And Aaron pass sails out of bounds and return basketball. And Lewis checks into the game for Hacker, as does Sam Bree.
Number 22, Riley Lewis, 44, Sam Bree.
See the replay here. And the pass just a bit upstairs and goes out of bounds. So we'll get a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. So we'll step away from our sponsors, Lawrence and Vandersworth. Financial planning done right.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. This farm once belonged to Albertus Van Raalte, founding father of the city of Holland. And this house, built by his son Ben in 1872, has been known through the years as the Maples, due to the large trees in the front yard planted by Van Raalte himself. These trees stand today because of the industry and vision of Albertus Van Raalte. Today, the DeGraff Nature Center taps the maples and demonstrates how maple syrup was made centuries ago. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
welcome back. We want to give a huge shout out to Lawrence and Vanderswart and for all they do here at Hope College and in this Holland community, making this broadcast possible, and just the other avenues that they're involved with here at Hope College with our students and our faculty and kind of the school as a whole. So we're very thankful for them and all they do for us, and this would not be possible without them. So big thank you to them. And for John and Zach, I think it's a good time to thank our friends in the back who make the broadcast look good, all of our camera guys out here. We just sit here and talk, but they're the ones that actually make the broadcast look good, so we're very thankful for them.
Got the Raymond brothers, Tyler Windemuller, Bryce Robinson, TC Core, Alan Babbitt, Philip Blau, and the rest of the crew, Emma Wabo as well, making all things possible here at beautiful DeVos Fieldhouse. It's 47-49, Trine with the 2-point lead. Chance of Let's Go Hope resound inside DeVos Fieldhouse. Bree trying to find somewhere to go. 15 seconds on the shot clock. He finds Lewis. Lewis drives, tries to go to Towns, but the ball's redirected. Goes out of bounds into the front of the Duke crew, and the ball will belong to the Dutchman. Coming to the game for the Thunder, it's number 3, Langston Johnson, the junior guard. Lewis has it now. Beckman for 3. He can't get it to go. Rebounded by Bree. He can't get it to go. He had a fresh shot clock. Beckman and Hunter were tied up for possession, and the ball will go to the Thunder. And Beckman picks up the foul. Beckman having a quiet night. He has 1 foul, only 4 points. He's being picked up by the combination of Granger and Towns. Spin move inside is good from Reese Hunter. And it's 51-47. Hope facing the largest deficit of the afternoon at 4.
Great move from Hunter to create space and steal right here from Winters.
He goes up and he can't convert on the layup. Hunter kicks out to Johnson. Johnson steps inside and he gets the jumper to go. Coach Greg Mitchell wants to talk things over after this little run by Trine. So it's 53-47. It's a full timeout. We'll step away. 10:32 remaining in the second half.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
Welcome back to DeVos Fieldhouse. I want to give a quick shout out to all those YouTube watchers. Thank you so much for watching. I also want to give a quick shout out to my family, the Wenslick family from St. John's, Michigan. Thank you guys for supporting me. It means a lot, and you guys, and without you guys, I would not be the person I am today. So let's watch Hope play, and let's hope for a comeback here.
That is one of the most inspirational and heartfelt, touching tributes I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm going to start crying over. You need to hold me back. All right, here we go. So, Beckman inbounds to Towns, who gives it right back. 47-53. Hope facing a little adversity. And Lewis to Beckman. Beckman to Lewis. Lewis pulls up and he's tipped and blocked. But the ball's corralled around and it's retained by Hope. Lewis working on Smith. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nice little inside pass and Beckman gets the runner to go. 6 on the afternoon. Exactly 10 minutes remaining in the second half.
And the Dutch are going to need a lot more of those plays from Jason Beckman. Offensively, they've been kind of stagnant the last couple minutes, and he's kind of a leader on this team that can get them going.
And there's a foul called So the basket will be good, and the foul is on Teddy Ray. His second. He has only 5 points on the afternoon. Take a look at the replay here. Goes for the ball, but he picks up the foul. So Johnson on the charity stripe to shoot the third, and he gets it to go. Completes the three-point play the hard way. Beckman now brings it across the timeline. Looking to work. It's Ray to Towns. And it's deflected by Johnson. Johnson pulls up. Awkward looking shot. Can't get it to go. Tipped by Cummings is no good. And Hope pushes the ball. Lewis drives, kicks to Towns. Towns finds Granger on the left wing. Granger drives inside, and it's picked off by Smith. Smith drives, trying to find somewhere to go. And he finds Hunter. So back-to-back possessions have ended in turnovers for this Dutch team. Smith from way downtown. And that was off from the get-go. And it's going to be Hope basketball. He can't believe it. Shot that from right in front of the Trine bench.
And the Dutch have gotten lucky on the last couple possessions. I mean, the Thunder got to the line in the and-one call, the previous possession before this one. But offensively, they are passing very poorly. There's no real connection. The ball movement is stagnant. The off-ball movement is almost non-existent, and the turnovers is in plenty.
That's the third straight turnover. Winters tries to lob it, and it's corralled by the Dutchman. Beckman drives inside, kicks out. Ray has it now. Beckman working inside to Granger. Granger to Ray. Lewis from downtown, and he gets it to go. Nothing but net. And it's a 30-second timeout. 52-56, the lead is 4. That's 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Those teams kind of playing sloppily in the past couple possessions. Zach, what have you really seen? I mean, well, take a look at the replay here. It's a nice three-point attempt. Gets it to go. Zach, what have you seen from this Hope team as of late? Making some sloppy decisions, but Lewis kind of pulls him back.
Absolutely. There's been quite a few turnovers, but like Carly was saying, Hope's been lucky as of late. Trine hasn't been very good either with the turnovers, and Lewis just hit probably one of the biggest shots of this game to keep Hope in the difference.
So it's a 4-point Trine lead. On the floor for the Dutch, it's Lewis, Towns, Ray, Granger, and Beckman back to their starting 5.
And you got to give huge props to this Trine defense. I mean, they've cranked up the aggressiveness, jumping the passing lanes, closing out really well on shots. So their defense is doing really well for them so far.
And Beckman brings it across the timeline, trying to get to work offensively. Towns finds Granger inside. And then it's Granger with the left hand, lays it up, and it's a 2-point game, 56-54. Granger with 14 on the afternoon. Winters. Johnson goes inside. Cummings working on Granger, and he gets it to go. So the lead is back to 4 for Trine.
Cummings with 16 points, having himself a day so far, doing a great job under pressure and working one-on-one and even through that double team.
Yeah, and Granger's giving him all he can handle, but he's still being able to make big shots as Trine tries to stay atop the conference. And the shot is no good, and it's rebounded by Trine. Winters brings it across. He goes right, now finds Johnson. Johnson goes left, being double teamed. Copeland, and it gets the little runner to go. So it's 60-54. The lead is 6 for Trine.
Copeland being quiet inside the paint, but kind of making his name known today through those jumpers, and those jumpers have really come in some clutch situations for this Thunder team.
And Beckman gets the runner to go. Ryan Gamm getting ready to check back in. Zach, you talk about him being kind of more of a defensive specialist, and you can expect that move from Coach Mitchell as Trine has gone on this little run trying to get a defensive stop here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to watching a game continue to defend really hard down low, and hopefully with that defense we can go on a little run.
62-56. Lewis from 3, and he gets it to go. 6 minutes remaining. That's a 3-point game. That was a huge shot by Lewis. Johnson with it. Trying to find somewhere to go. Finds Winters. Copeland working on Towns, goes inside to Cummings. And he's blocked by Granger, but he'll get called for a foul. Crowd unhappy with something. We'll get sorted out from the referees. Take a look at the replay here.
This second, team's 7th.
A little pushback and a little timeout. That's going to be a full timeout, so we'll step away. 62-59, the Trine lead, 5:47 remaining in the second half.
At Lawrence at Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. In 1851, Holland's founder, Albertus Van Raalte, wanted to establish a secondary school where students could get the best education with an emphasis on Christian character. Originally called Pioneer School, Van Raalte set up classes in an orphanage on 12th Street. By 1857, the new Van Vleck Hall was completed. It provided classrooms, a library, and housing for 10 students, along with the school principal. In 1862, the school was renamed Hope College, and the first graduating class received their diplomas in the spring of 1866. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Back inside the Voss Fieldhouse for John Crispin alongside Carly Vanswell and Zach Tice. 62-59. Enter Sandman resounding inside the Voss Fieldhouse. 5:47 remaining in the contest after the foul by Granger. It's only a 3-point game. Speaking of enters Sandman, congrats to the Hall of Famer Mariano Rivera. This is his intro song, the first unanimous Hall of Fame inductee. And Cummings at the line now.
He shoots about 52% from the line.
And he misses it, much to the delight of the DeVos Fieldhouse. And the shot is up and good. Coming into the game for the Dutch, the Thunder. It is Morris Hunter comes in for Cummings. And Beckman are bringing across the timeline, 63-59. The lead is 4, 5 minutes and change remaining. He swings left to Towns. Towns trying to find somewhere to go. He finds Lewis left side. Lewis thinks about it. Off to Gam. Gam finds Beckman. Beckman pulls up just inside the arc. He's fouled ahead of the charity stripe for 2. Beckman's so good at drawing contact and getting the free throw line, where he's been absolute money as of late.
And something that we got to pay attention to is Trine just has 4 fouls, and this Hope team's a team that loves to be at the free throw line, and the Dutch was 7 fouls. And this Trine team, Zach, you've said it all night, is a good shooting team with guards like Winter and Smith. So if they get to the line, they could get a couple points that could make a big difference with only 5.5 minutes left to go in the second half.
And these free throws are going to get bigger as we head down the stretch. Room for error becoming ever slim. So it's 63-61. Smith working on Lewis. Johnson has it now, goes inside to Copeland. Copeland working on Towns, up off the glass. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled. And that'll be Towns' 4th foul. So 1 away from fouling out. And Towns has been key all afternoon. Inside, cannot afford to foul out this early in the game. Copeland on the line to shoot 2. Granger coming back in undoubtedly for Towns.
Entering the lineup for the Flying Dutchman, number 51, Preston Granger.
So the lead is 3 for the Thunder. Copeland to shoot his second shot, and he gets it to go. And Beckman has it now. Brings it across the timeline. 5 minutes remaining. It's a 4-point lead for the Thunder. Gam goes to Granger. Granger to Lewis. Lewis thinks about it, being guarded by Johnson. Gets a screen from Gam. Pulls up around the free throw line. Can't get it to go. And it's corralled by the Thunder. Winters gives it off to Johnson. Johnson being pressured by Gam, and Gam will pick up the foul. He can't believe the call. And that'll be his first.
Team's ninth.
35 minutes. And the shot is no good. So Beckman has it now. Beckman pulls up. Can't get it to go.
The Dutch have got to rebound. They have to get those second chance opportunities.
And in the first half, they were rebounding and connecting on those second chance opportunities. Can't get the runner to go. And Granger picks up a foul. It'll be his third. So Hope's big starting to get in some foul trouble. And Zach, that's something you simply cannot afford as you get late in this game.
Team's 10th.
Teddy Ray getting ready to check back in. 3-point specialist. Could look for some big buckets off the bench. Hunter can't sink the first of two. And Ray comes in for Jason Dietz.
It's going to be key for the Dutch in this next possession to get a quick basket and make a defensive stop. They're struggling to stay underneath this 4-point deficit, and I think they're just going to need a defensive stop to kind of build up that confidence again.
So Cummings checks back into the game. 4:19 remaining. Beckman to Lewis. Lewis to Ray being pressured. Ball's tipped by Johnson. They've been in those passing lanes all afternoon. Johnson for the 3-point attempt, can't get it to go. Last touch by Granger. Much to the dismay of the Dutchman faithful, it'll be Trine basketball with the fresh shot clock. Take a look at the replay here. And that is the right call by the officiating crew. Special thanks to Bryce Robinson this afternoon running the replay booth so we can look at calls just like those. And Ryan Gam quickly picks up his second. 66-61. Copeland on the line to try to complete the 3-point play. Excuse me, he's on the line to shoot 2. And Towns comes back into the game.
Number 15, Dennis Towns.
And Towns has 4. So that's something Trine should be aware of. One more and he's gone.
That could be a big game changer for the Dutch.
Copeland with the second shot, and he gets it to go. 68-61. It's a 7-point lead for this Thunder team, the largest of the afternoon. Zach, if you're this Hope team, what do you have to do to respond?
I think you have to get a big shot from one of the guards, either Ray, Lewis, or Beckman.
And the foul is on number 3, Langston Johnson of Trine. Is the team's 5th. Teddy Ray to inbound right side. Ray trying to find somewhere to go. And he calls a timeout instead of taking the 5-second violation. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here. 68-61. The Trine lead, 3:41 remaining. Plenty of time left, but Hope has to start getting some defensive stops. Carly, like you said.
Yeah, I think Trine's done a great job defensively, kind of mixing up this Dutch offense. I think they've kind of been in miscommunication throughout this whole second half. They haven't really found a rhythm. Did a really great job in the first half moving the ball, a lot of off-ball movement that led to a lot of great opportunities for them. But I think the Trine defense just kind of picked things up, and then the Dutch haven't had a response for it since then.
And Zach, Trine has really come out. They've been shooting the lights out of the ball, and they've been in the passing lanes all game long, creating turnovers. And if you can win in that important third phase of the game, the turnovers and in transition offense, you're going to put yourself in a good spot.
Yeah, absolutely. These last 3 minutes is going to be very important for even Hope College the rest of the season. We talked about how Hope is the 4th team in the conference, and this would be a big one if they get it, but they've been playing well for the majority of the game. We just need to clear up the turnovers, and if we make some shots and we get a defensive stop, we'll be in it.
So the MIAA tournament just around the corner, Friday through Saturday, February 22nd through 23rd. Go to MIAA.com to purchase your tickets now. Location will be at the #1 seed of the team that finishes first in the MIAA in the regular season. And Cummings throws it down, 70-61.
These next back-to-back possessions, offensively and defensively, for Hope, I think are going to be ones that kind of determine the outcome of this game.
Lewis finds Towns. Back to Lewis. Tries to get a screen from Towns, goes the other way. Pass is deflected. Granger can't capitalize inside, rebounded by Towns. There's a scrum for the ball. And it's rebounded and corralled by the Thunder. Copeland inside on Ray. Finds Cummings inside, kicks back out to Smith. 15 on the shot clock. Smith slowing things down. Johnson goes inside to Copeland. Copeland turns and shoots. That's going to be a foul on Cummings, goes over the back of Towns. It'll be his first. That's one afternoon from Cummings, only playing so aggressive all afternoon, only picking up 1 foul and 19 points on the afternoon.
And similarly to that, Copeland with 18 points and no fouls. I mean, those are some great numbers from your big guys.
Lewis from 3 can't get it to go. And Winters has it now. Winters finds Johnson. Johnson to Smith. Just over 2 minutes remaining. The lead is 9. Smith from way downtown. That misses everything. And it'll be Hope basketball. Jason Beckman to inbounds. Take a look at the replay of Cummings' dunk. Wide open inside. So 2 minutes remaining. Beckman behind the back goes down to Granger, and Granger goes up off the glass for 2. A much needed bucket. 70-63, the lead is 7. Some incidental contact has Copeland on the ground. He gets up trying to find room. Winters working on Beckman, being double teamed. Copeland. Ball is thrown the length of the court, and it'll be over and back. It'll be Hope basketball. Coming to the lineup for Trine, it's number 24, Maurice Hunter. He comes in for Cummings. So Zach, if you're Hope now, Cummings out of the game, this is an opportunity to try and take advantage inside.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Hope needs a really quick score here and get a couple of steps on defense.
Granger gets the inbound pass. Beckman pulls up. He can't get it to go. Rebound by Towns. Towns to Ray. Ray for 3. He can't get it to go. Rebound by Granger. Granger, tough move inside. And a foul will be on Pete Smith, who has some words to say to Granger. Catches an elbow. And it's going to be a full timeout. 1:21 remaining. Hope down 70-63. That's a go at the boss. We'll step away.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. The early Dutch settlers knew that in order for the tiny Holland community to flourish, they were going to need the shipping industry to stop by. So they began digging the channel, without help from the government, all by themselves. The dream of a real lighthouse was realized in 1936, when it switched on its big light for the very first time. The ships came, the lighthouse became an icon, and the ambition and hard work of those early settlers continues to bless our community to this day. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Back inside the Boss Fieldhouse for John Crispin alongside Carly Van Swol and Zach Tice. 70-63, the Trine lead. Granger to shoot free throws. 1:21 remaining. These free throws, huge. Must sink for him.
Granger 69% from the line.
He has 16 on the afternoon.
Granger, so he'll shoot a 1-on-1. I have an update thanks to Caitlin Burry back in the 92.7 Van studio. Trine has retaken the lead in women's action 59-58.
Granger sinks the first of a 1-on-1. 70-64. Hope needs a stop.
His best offensive performance in the last 6.
After the Granger free throw.
10 in the first half. Second free throw was up by
And the shot is up and good. Big free throws from the sophomore. 70-65. 1:15 remaining. Spot in a highly contested conference race on the line. This is what it's all about. Honer guarding Johnson. Johnson stops, goes inside to Hunter. Copeland working on Ray. Tries to goes inside, and it's stolen by Granger. Under 1 minute remaining, the lead is 5. Lewis going to work. Lewis finds Honer. Honer to Ray. Ray to Lewis. Lewis trying to find somewhere to go. Honer inside. He's fouled, but ahead of the line for 2. Huge free throws. A chance to make it a 3-point game. 44 seconds remaining.
24. Morris Hunter, that is his 4th. Team's 8th.
Jake Honer, excellent free throw shooter.
And Honer gets the first of 2 to go. It's a 4-point game. Second of 2 coming. And he gets it to go.
Keeps his streak at being perfect at the line thus far this season.
This crowd coming alive. The lead is 3 for Trine. Smith with it now on the base of the anchor. Finds Winter. 10 on the shot clock. Goes inside. The hook shot is no good, and it's rebounded by Beckman. A chance to tie 70-67. And Coach Mitchell takes a timeout.
Big defensive snap right there. Let's see what Coach Mitchell can draw up here.
That's going to be a full timeout, so we'll step away one more time. 70-67, my goodness.
Monday, hit the road.
Honey, did you remember to bring the GPS?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you have an app on your phone to tell us how to get where we're going?
I do not.
Really? So you have an actual map, like the kind that are hard to fold? You just know where you're going?
No idea.
Don't be this guy when it comes to financial planning. LVZ Advisors. We'll help get you there.
Back inside DeVos Fieldhouse, 16.2 seconds remaining. 70-67, the Trine lead. Hope to inbound. Right in front of their bench. A lot on the line. Zach, who do you see taking the shot?
I would put Riley Lewis in with the shot, but also watch out for the situation with Trine fouling.
It's good strategy for Trine. Up 3, foul to shoot free throws. And get the ball back. So Teddy Ray to inbound. .2 seconds remaining. Ray bounce to Beckman. Lewis for 3. Can't get to go. That's rebounded by Trine. That's Pete Davison. He's fouled. So Davis to shoot free throws.
That is his third.
7 seconds remaining. First shot is up and good. Second shot coming. Hope is gonna have to go the length of the floor.
Deep out left. Go. Work.
Ball is tipped and goes out of bounds. 5.6 seconds remaining. Trying to man-to-man. Granger to inbound.
I think you go with Beckman and try to draw the contact.
And 2.1 seconds remaining after the bucket is good by Beckman. Crazier things have happened, and Lewis fouls right away. 1.5 seconds remaining.
College foul number 22, Riley Lewis. That is his second.
So Lewis picks up the foul to be his second. 1.5 seconds remaining, and it's Johnson to shoot free throws. And the first shot is good. So one more will put the nail in the coffin. Hope desperately wishing for a miss. The shot is good. And Trine fans start to celebrate. Beckman throws up a heave at the buzzer. 73-69, your final score. Trine escapes DeVos Fieldhouse with the win and improves to 7-1 overall in conference. Hope drops to even 500, 4-4 in conference. Special thanks to everybody involved: Philip Lau, Steve Secor, Bryce Robinson, rest of the crew, Brajan Crispin alongside Carly Van Swol and Zach Tice. Have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon.
When you're more than a manager, you're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning, it's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.